Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue, I'm Eric. For those who don't know, I love theme parks. So much in fact, that I even named a street after them. However, while I find theme parks like Six Flags and Legoland to be the best places in the world, there is one theme park where I think all of the rides are horrible. That place is Walt Disney World. Maybe I shouldn't be too hard on them. It was the very first theme park ever, and it does get over 300 million visitors a year, so it's clearly very popular. However, all of the rides are just so awful. Whether they're boring, scary, or straight up dangerous, these rides must be shut down. So in this video, I am talking about the 10 worst rides at Walt Disney World in no particular order. All of these rides are equally bad, but some are more equal than others. So let's begin with the equally worst ride in the park, Flight of Passage. This ride couldn't even get the theme right. It's themed to Avatar, but there is nothing that remotely resembles it. There's no Aang, no Eero, not even any cabbages. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. In terms of the ride itself, the seats are very weird. They're supposed to be the backs of banshees, but they don't look like banshees at all. I've seen more convincing ones at Cedar Point, at least that banshee's dead. But don't worry, the park makes up for that unconvincing appearance by allowing you to feel the banshee breathing. That's creepy. I don't want to feel someone breathing, that's way too scary. The ride itself isn't even a ride. It's a motion simulator. You just look at a screen the whole time. I already look at screens 14 hours a day, and YouTube Shorts are way funnier than this. Where are the jokes? It's not a funny ride at all. So overall, this ride is quite a letdown in that regard. But the worst part of the ride is one moment in the queue. The park has a cast member sit in a tank of water all day. Oh my gosh. Look at them. Their skin is blue from holding their breath for so long. Props to them for staying alive, but this treatment is cruel. Simply put, this ride has to go. Next up is the Tower of Terror. This ride has one of the dumbest themes of any out there. Why would you theme a ride to Twilight? Nobody likes Twilight, and those who do probably weren't looking for a theme park ride about it. Also, this is a drop tower. How does that tie into the theme at all? Does the dropping represent my eyelids when watching the movies? Also, this ride is in dire need of repairs. Just look at the outside of the building. It's as if it's been abandoned and not repainted since the 1930s. Clearly, this ride has overall been abandoned by Disney, and therefore, I will abandon any future opportunities to ride it. The next ride is the first roller coaster on the list, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This ride does not fit at Epcot at all. For those who don't know, Epcot is actually an acronym. It stands for Extremely Plain Center of Tourism. Walt Disney himself had a vision for the park. He saw it as a bland and boring place for tourists to spend their time. Cosmic Rewind is fast, thrilling, and fun, so it goes against everything Epcot stands for. Also, the music selection for the ride is terrible. I mean, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire? I don't remember that song, but it doesn't make sense 11 months of the year. It's April right now. September as a song name just doesn't fit. Also, the band is called Earth, Wind, and Fire, but where's water? How is this park so bad at getting Avatar right? Clearly, this ride was a misfire, even though it's missing water. Now for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the worst roller coaster at the park. It replaced Space Mountain and it fails as a successor. The only thing this has to do with space is being a waste of it. It also lacks the magic of that ride, as well as the wheels. This roller coaster has no wheels. Yikes! That's dangerous. The ride also gets you soaked, and I can't imagine that anybody likes that. If any other park has a water ride like that, I'm sure it's unpopular. Next up is Pooh's Honey Hunt, the worst ride at Magic Kingdom. This ride is another where the theme is a poor fit for the park. They chose to theme the ride around horror icon Winnie the Pooh. This is a family-focused park, so I find that very concerning. Also, there is one room where the floor bounces around, and that can only mean one thing: this ride is structurally unstable and a serious danger to all riders. Therefore, based on the gory theme and the terrifying issues of the ride structure, we need to get rid of it. Our sixth ride is Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, one of the worst rides at Animal Kingdom. First off, why is it even there? I know it has spider in the name, but it's not really a fit at Animal Kingdom at all. There's not much else to say on this one. Just watch the video in the card above to see the Imagineers conceptualizing the ride. That will show you just how bad this one is. Next up is another Disney shooting ride, Justice League Battle for Metropolis. This is actually a bit better than Web Slingers, but its biggest failures are in the prepared pre-show videos. For context, Lex Luthor recruited the Joker to help him blow up New York City. When Joker mentioned that Lex was the one to reach out to him, Lex responds in this exact way, "Yes, it's true. I did call you." It's very corny, and it is something I quote regularly because of how unintentionally funny it is, but it's not technically good theme park dialogue or a good theme park pre-show in general. Other than that, the main issue here is how violent the ride is. On other shooting rides, you're shooting at robots, or things that don't live. I mean, even Web Slingers is just spider robots. And on this ride, the Joker's henchmen that you're shooting at are actual people, and that's messed up. This ride is way too scary for the Disney parks that have cloned it so many times. 3 rides left. Let's talk about Jurassic World Adventure at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This ride is supposed to be a perilous adventure, immersing you in a terrifying chase scene. The park clearly wants things to be super realistic, but they missed a few key points. 1. Dinosaurs aren't real. They've never been real and they never will be real. How am I supposed to be immersed in this chase scene when I'm being chased by a mythical creature? Some say you have to suspend your disbelief, but I don't want to be suspended. I was a good student in school. They also have moving posters on the ride, which make no sense because posters are on paper. This is not some sort of fairy tale. The ride is wholly unrealistic, and if there's one thing theme parks shouldn't be, it's different from what I can do at home. Next up is a controversial pick for worst ride, Daddy Pig's Roller Coaster. All of the other rides I talked about so far, besides maybe Justice League, are considered the worst rides not just at Disney, but also the entire universe. However, Daddy Pig's Roller Coaster is a highly acclaimed roller coaster, often considered the best ride at Magic Kingdom. Unfortunately, I find some of its biggest praises to actually be flaws. For example, people note that it is both a launch and a lift hill. That is unique, but to me, it represents the infighting among Disney creatives. They couldn't decide on one, so they went with both, and it's very weird as a result. The ride just has a lack of artistic direction and focus in the design departments. However, the bigger issue is the front row situation. Daddy Pig sits in the front row at all times, and some say this is a testament to how intense the ride is that only Daddy Pig can withstand it. However, I wanted to sit in the front, and I think that Fat Pig needs to get off the ride so others can enjoy the intense experience. I went on the ride with my son, and he was devastated when he found out Daddy Pig was hogging the front. Later that day, he saw an employee dressed as Daddy Pig, and he ran right up to him and kicked him in the shin. I was actually impressed at how calm my son was, though. When I was his age, I would not have stopped at one kick. But overall, this ride is held back by the park's most consistent patron, Daddy Pig. And finally, perhaps the worst ride at Disney World is Hundepruten, which is French for dog fart. What were they thinking? I will give the ride some credit. It's nice to have a roller coaster themed to Pluto. He doesn't get much recognition, and he does deserve it on this ride. However, the ride itself is just not good. Well, actually, it is pretty good. There are plenty of things to enjoy about it. I think the flatulence theme is actually very fitting for Disney World and no doubt great for kids. It's a beautiful ride to look at, just look at that dog animatronic. And it's very intense. So why is it one of the worst Disney World rides? I don't know. I guess the name is just kinda hard to pronounce. So those are the 10 worst rides at Walt Disney World. But I have one more thing to tell you. These rides are all so bad that I haven't even ridden any of them. That's a true fact. I have not ridden any of the rides I just talked about. And clearly, the only explanation for that is that they're just so bad that I know they're the worst rides without even riding them. And that's the list. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below your favorite part of my ranking. I'm sure you had a lot of great parts you enjoyed and agreed with all my takes. Subscribe for more theme park videos. I'll see you next time.